Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You find me inside a 1939 Standard with George in Taunton. Why are we here? Stay around to find out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the reason we're here in this very beautiful Standard 14 from 1939 is that today in Taunton they're closing off the high street, giving it over to these beautiful cars, because just over there they're going to open a car museum right here in the heart of Taunton, and yours truly is here to show you what's going on. So let's go and have a look. So here we are now, the cars and the public are gathering. Over there on that stage is where the opening ceremony will take place with Mr. Hammond when he eventually arrives. And as you can see, the road is slowly filling up with rather nice motor cars. So, ladies and gentlemen, the call went out for cars of all shapes and sizes to turn up for today's parade. And there's always one. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the official Sinclair washing machine. I love these things. I actually had one. George is over there doing what he does best, talking to people about his car, which is one of the stars of the show, I've got to say. I think, is it the oldest one here? It could well be. You will notice we are parked right at the front. Everything's going to be all right, ladies and gentlemen, and Aston Martin has turned up. So, ladies and gentlemen, not only has the sun come out, the Mayor of Taunton has come out as well.
I only live 3 doors away from
Mine's the brightest the other one on the left. These are all local. This one's come from Bridgewater. We organise, I'm from North Newton, so we organise a flower show every year.
Very local.
And he won our best car 2 years ago at the flower show. But most of these cars have come to us through the Taunton Historic Vehicle Group, so they are very local people.
Oh, look at this.
Three-wheel Triumph, which is a real rarity.
Now, I'm from Brighton, and of course we're used to the old Cox race.
Yes, of course.
picture the mess standing by the car.
So we'll leave them to walk down the line. It's wonderful. I mean, the sun is absolutely sparkling off of all the chrome work on these cars. It's amazing. Thank you for the weather.
Hello.
How are you doing?
So how long have you had this, George?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
And did you buy it like this, or did you find it?
I bought it like this with work to be done.
Right.
So as we're doing the process, you always are trying to make it more reliable.
And of course restore it to how it originally looked.
Yes, I have a new bumper coming.
Yeah.
It's the wrong bumper for the era of car.
Now, do you get much work for weddings?
Actually, I've started that.
Yes, that's what you have to do, isn't it?
I've got 2 scheduled for this year. So, yes.
Very good.
And I'm here to tell you it's so comfortable. The seats are like, oh.
No, it's
So
my
where did you
wife
drive down from? From Glastonbury?
Glastonbury.
Glastonbury.
My wife says it's like riding on the settee. It's so comfortable coming in, riding around.
Wow.
Can't argue.
So, yes.
Oh,
See, I'm always used to this because I come from Brighton.
Yeah.
We're always used to the old clocks coming down.
The
And I
Brighton
think-
run, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
I think
Brighton run.
after several years, you just used to see all these old cars coming down. I think you can set your calendar by it, of course. You think, oh, is it that time of year again?
Yes.
Are you a classic car fan?
I'm motorcycles, mate.
Motorcycles, of course, yeah.
So yeah, no.
You got a vintage motorcycle?
I haven't. I've got a very brand new one. So, but still, this is awesome, isn't it?
It's absolutely superb.
This is
Brilliant.
brilliant for the town.
And this is the chair, Mike. Best chair of
Hello,
Somerset Council.
Chair.
I'm going to
How are you?
Very well. I'm on day off, so.
Anyway, I will leave those gentlemen to chat. As you can see, the good old standard 39 is very popular over there. I do believe it's going to go out on one of Richard Hammond's television shows as one of the episodes. I don't know which one yet, but I will find out and I'll let you know so that you can watch this event as seen by those cameras as well.
Welcome everyone. What a fantastic crowd. It's really good to see you all. I need you to make some space because Richard Hammond is coming with Pat Hawkins. They're at the roundabout now and they need to come down the road and park behind the Mini. So everybody who's in the road, can you clear a way through please so that they can come and park behind the Mini? And then I'll ask you to clear a way for them to walk across. But first of all, let's get the car in. The car is a Porsche RSK 718 replica, very beautifully constructed replica of an extremely rare Porsche. And you will see Patrick driving, Richard Hammond with him, and this is a car that is in the museum. And it makes a fantastic sound. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, everybody, can you please make a gangway for Richard to come through, get them through. Bit more. Come on up. So we are greatly honoured today to have with us Member of Parliament for Taunton Dean, Rebecca Powell, the Mayor of Taunton, Councillor Nick O'Donnell, another one making me feel small, and Chair of Somerset Council, Mike Best. And I will ask all of them to say a few words in a minute. It's also my great pleasure to introduce a man many of you already know, Pat Hawkins, a man of incredible vision and determination who has beaten all the odds to achieve something some other old car enthusiasts like me only dream of, to open his own motor museum and by so doing make a big positive contribution to his hometown. And finally, a man all of you already know, we're hugely honoured that he is Pat's vision to come here to support this unique venture. Richard Hammond. Hello. Richard, would you like to grab the other mic, because it may work better than this one, and pop it on? And Richard, I think the switch is on the side on this one. That's it.
Hold on, this is quite technical for me.
Richard, you came down on Friday to meet Pat and see the museum. Please share your thoughts.
Glad to. Morning, very nice to see you. How fantastic to see this on a high street as well. Yeah, I came along here because you sent me details of it in an email, and like all of us, you get a lot of emails, but the story in this one caught my eye. The timing of it, for one thing. This is a museum, so yes, it's looking back into the past, but it also is very useful as we look into the future now. The car, the subject of this museum, is undergoing significant change, and we all acknowledge has to. and will do. But at the same time, it will still provide the service it always has for us, which is move us around our lives and enable us to do everything we want to do. The theme of this museum I found particularly relevant right now, because it's about the cars that many of us, and I can see a few grey ones there, so just saying, will remember these aren't necessarily the cars that we had on our poster wall. Some of them are. Some of them are the cars that took us to school, that we learned to drive in, that moved us around. And it's a reminder as we move forwards into the future, whatever shape that has to take, that when the car was invented, what was it? It was a novelty. Oh, look, Carruthers is coming up the drive and there's no horse in front of his carriage. How does he do that? It's a novelty for rich people. And then it became something for everybody that enabled us to live our lives. It shapes our lives and our world. And as we reinvent it now, it's important that we do so whilst remembering what we owe it and what it's done for us. And this museum has a role to play in doing just that. I also think, particularly important, and I know this will be spoken about today, but I want to add my feelings that how fantastic that it's on a high street. It's in the centre of your town. So you can, on a Saturday, whenever you're wandering past, dive in and have a look and connect with these incredible, essential machines that have shaped our world. And finally, from me, obviously, it has been a monumental team effort putting this whole thing together. I've heard tales of people working till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning this week to get everything ready. But we should all acknowledge and salute one particular individual's driving passion, pun intended, to get this thing on the road. Second pun also. Pat, I absolutely salute you. It's an incredible achievement. It really has consumed this entire world. But it is now going to be opening today so that we can all enjoy the results of it. So I would ask that, probably not for the first time today, a massive round of applause for Pat. Well done, sir. Great to see you all here today.
Thank you so much, Richard. And yes, absolutely. Fantastic, Pat. Well done. I'll ask you to speak in a minute. But first, in a minute, I'll ask Richard to cut the ribbon and open the museum.
Trusting me with scissors.
Yep. But before that, I'd like to invite Rebecca Power MP to say a few words about what the museum means to your constituency, Taunton Deane.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me, Patrick. And what an amazing crowd. I think it just shows word has spread, hasn't it? I mean, I've been bumping into people all over the place who've already heard about this, so absolutely brilliant. And we've all been intrigued, haven't we, to find out what was going on behind these window panes. We've all been walking past, actually for a few years now, and you will be amazed when you go in, because it is like in Aladdin's cave, a cornucopia of cars, I think we could call it. And I just wanted to touch on what Richard Hammond said. It's so brilliant that you've come to Taunton, Richard. I think you were one of the big attractions as well, weren't you? Certainly not the MP, definitely Richard Hammond. But I do know that this is one man's dream, and it's a very, very bold endeavour. And when Patrick first told me about this, it was a few years ago, wasn't it, that we met. He was very emotional because it was him being very ill, that he'd probably tell you about himself, that drove him to decide to put something back into our county town. And so he's done it. He's really put his heart and soul into this, I would say. But in doing that, what he's done for us is, I think he's putting the heart back in our high street. And there's been so much talk about what's happening to our high streets, and they are changing. It's just a sign of our times, a bit like the cars, a bit like in the history of cars. And what this will do, it will help to make Taunton a destination place to come to. I mean, look, you're already here, and the museum's not even open yet. So that's what we need in our high streets. We've got some other wonderful independent shops now really getting going in the town, and it will be a place people want to come to do things like go to this museum, but have a coffee on the way, or maybe buy something as well. And I'm really delighted that I was involved in getting 14 million for the high street to finish off Coal Orchard and Firepool, and we've upgraded the rail station, and we've got fast trains from all over the place coming into Taunton now, so people will be able to even, not necessarily come by car, sorry Richard, but they might come by train, and they can just walk up through our high street. So I just see the whole thing working so brilliantly, Patrick, but it really is, thanks to your vision. It's absolutely unbelievable what one man can do, and I can't thank you and the team and the enormous team. Just finally, I do have, our family inherited a classic car, and my wonderful father-in-law died, and it's a Mercedes 280 SL. That'd be right? 1986, I think. And no, it's been restored. It's family shared. And I wasn't really into vintage cars or classic cars at this point, but I can tell you, I feel the history, and I also think it's a work of art. Would that be a good reference? I genuinely do, and so I can see what you all see, and I think we're going to pass this on to our kids for generations to come. So another big round of applause for Patrick, and thank you so much for what you're doing for our town.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. We really appreciate you coming down, because I know you have to rush off to a speech in Parliament. So thanks very much for taking the time to join us. Somerset Council was formed this year and instantly had serious challenges to face up to, which have been hitting headlines in recent weeks. Despite all of that, Council Leader Bill Revens and his team have made the time to support the museum. Bill Revens himself is gutted that meetings prevented him from joining us today, but we're very grateful that Council Chair Mike Best has been able to join us, and I'd now like to ask Mike to say a few words, please.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that since the dawn of the chain of town centres, it's so difficult to obtain new shops, and now it's down to the outward thinking of people like the committee that put this together that's going to change town centres. As someone that's followed Top Gear for many, many years, it's been a great pleasure to meet the man himself. I've followed all his crashes through the years. And like I say, it's really, really kind of Richard to come here and support the project. I know Bill wanted to be here, but unfortunately he can't. So it's to really wish this venture the greatest success, and hopefully other people will look outside the box in town centres to bring new things to actually draw people in to support the rest of the shops. So the best of luck to the museum in the future. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Mike. And now I'd like to ask the Mayor of Taunton, Councillor Nick O'Donnell, to say a few words about this very special new addition to our lovely county town.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to motor enthusiasts, to visitors and to special guests. Welcome, Richard. It's wonderful to see you all here and to see such a full town centre. I've been talking to people around, and I think the word that has been used most is attraction. And Taunton today has a brand new attraction, and it's great. Hands up, please, if you're a visitor to Taunton today. There we go, and hopefully we'll get to see so many more, because as a town, we now have a brand new attraction. Cars can just be a mode of transport, something we use to get from A to B. But there are classic cars, and they are things of beauty, works of art, and as like any other work of art, they deserve a special place in a museum, and that is what Patrick has given us in this town today, a museum for works of art. So I would like to pay particular tribute to Patrick. He spent many years forming this project to bring to Taunton this special new project. He's persevered, he's been dedicated, and he's had a huge vision. And so, again, thank you so much, Patrick, for carrying on and doing this and seeing your project and your vision through for this town. This shop front is a wonderful, wonderful front. It's got this lovely architecture, and now it's got things of beauty inside. So I hope you all enjoy it. And please, for those who are visiting here today, go home, tell your friends about this, and ask them, tell them to come down and see it. This is probably the first car museum that you can actually walk to.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of putting it, isn't it? So please go back home and tell your friends about this. So thank you very much, and thank you, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Nick. And finally, we come to the man who has steadfastly followed his dream, despite plague, recession, and major personal health issues. And he's defied all the doubters who said he couldn't do it and it couldn't be done. He's always striven for perfection and must have averaged 4 hours sleep a night for the last fortnight, putting the final touches to what was already an amazing museum. Pat Hawkins.
Hi everybody. You've heard of the saying, bricking it. I'm slabbing it. What can I say? It's been a tough old journey. It really, really has. But it's been absolutely incredible now. And to have Richard Hammond here, how fantastic is that? I know it's taken a long, long time to do this, but actually longer than you all realise. I bought this pickup brand new in 1964 to take me to Jersey. And it's actually his birthday today. You can't believe it's like 59 years ago. Actually, I didn't quite tell you what that, but it's taken a long time. But so I can see all the detail that we've done. I think it looks good. And I hope you do. I'd like to invite you all in, but we just haven't got the room because some idiots parked a load of cars in there. So, thanks again for attending. Thanks to Richard. Thanks to everyone. And also a special thanks to my staff, all that are coming on conditionally at 4 o'clock in the morning and stay till late at night. There's too many to thank, but thanks a lot. And thank you so much to my colleague here, Malcolm. And thank you to all for attending today. I really look forward to seeing you all in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick, and many, many congratulations. I'm now going to ask the staff to make space at the front of the museum, and Dawn and Jackie, who's been in at 4 a.m. every morning this week and working right through the day, are going to hold up the ribbon. And Richard, I think we're going to pass you the scissors for a matter of seconds.
No problem. I know. Just don't trust me with it for long. Hang on. Okay. These are sharp, and I've got
Sorry. Right. And Richard will now cut the room.
so after many, many years' work.
Did we test the scissors beforehand? It's cut! Hooray! The museum is open! Thank you, Richard.